Dodgers
When is
game.
the next World Cup?
What time is it in New York City?
Is it gonna rain tomorrow?
How far is it to Phoenix?
Back in 2011, when a revolutionary product called the Digital Assistant came on the scene, people everywhere jumped on it.
We're starting to speak to everyday objects and they're starting to listen to us.
Looking at little kids interacting with these things, to them is natural. Yeah, how else could it be?
But it wasn't too long ago when the idea of having a friendly machine to help us with chores and tasks seemed like a distant fantasy.
How may I help you?
I can do many things if you use me well.
We've always imagined things that aren't yet possible, and it's taken a while for the technology to catch up. But the world is becoming science fiction.
The Digital Assistant has actually been many decades in the making.
The electromechanical differential analyzer performs scientific and industrial marvels.
The story starts long before anyone could have imagined a computer that would fit in a single room, let alone on your desk or in your hand.
In the late 1940s, what had just emerged were these programmable computational machines, the sort of first mainframe computers.
2,000 electronic tubes, several thousand relays, 150 motors, and about 200 miles of wire are contained in this intricate apparatus.
Early computers were massive machines, but they really weren't much more than very powerful calculators.
Computers had traditionally been thought of as machines that could follow an algorithm.
Following the instructions, it performs operations on the information.
And it could be very labor-saving, but essentially they would only spit out what was given to them. They would follow rules. They followed a determined path. They were pumping electrons into wires. The problem was that as long as machines only did what they were told they should do, they weren't going to be learning.
I'd love to have a tea party conversation with a machine.
I'm afraid you find the conversation rather dull. You see, Judy, machines have no minds of their own.
I thought they had electronic brains.
It's the brain of man that tells them what to do.
Could we build a truly intelligent computer that would think like a human being? That was the question that brought together a group of mathematicians and scientists at Dartmouth College in the summer of 1956. They named this new area of study artificial intelligence, AI. One of the ideas that AI's early pioneers were most excited about was a relatively new concept in computing known as neural networks.
Neural networks are something that were invented way back in the 1950s, and essentially what it is a way of arranging the elements of a computer system in a way that copies what's done in the human brain.
And that way you could have a computer program that chose its own path instead of just one that was given by the programmer itself. So this really opened up the field of artificial intelligence.
There was early optimism that we would be able to build machines that had human qualities, but it turned out that the challenges were harder than they realized.
Unfortunately, for the brilliant minds behind the birth of AI, the technology didn't yet exist to turn their vision into reality.
Computers simply weren't fast enough. And for many decades, no one was really able to take it to the next level.
The beginnings of AI really created the theoretical foundation for much of what we do today. But there's a big difference between the theory and actually being able to execute on that theory.